Chapter 18, but first a quick note from the reader. The previous Chapter 18 video was removed by YouTube for going against community guidelines. I do not have a backup of this video, so I have to redo Chapter 18. I feel that this was wrongfully removed. I requested some sort of explanation as to what about this particular chapter goes against YouTube's community guidelines, to which I received no reply. Therefore, I'm going to reread it. I would like to remind YouTube, I am reading from a book. These are not my own views and opinions. I am simply reading a book. That's why the title says audiobook. I am redoing this video because I feel that this chapter does not go against YouTube's community guidelines. I would like to remind YouTube that it is perfectly fine to have an opinion on if you like a band or you don't like a band. That is not hate speech. That is a personal opinion. And to be honest, there are thousands of YouTube videos just like this talking about if they like a band or not. With that said, Chapter 18. I only met Dead once and barely talked to him, other than sharing a meal with him. I once walked with him to a local shop and back again to their home, and we did not speak a lot. I do not remember much what we spoke about. As a curiosity, I can tell that later on Euronymous told me that Dead had been horrified by the fact that one of the guys from Bergen, Patton, from Old Funeral, had not even heard about Venom. At the time, mid to late 1992, I could correct Euronymous and tell him that he had mistaken Patton for me, because I was the one who had told Dead that I had not even heard about Venom. Interestingly, had Euronymous known that at the time, he would probably not have signed Burzum to his label at all. As I have explained before in this book, this kind of purity spiraling was common. If you had not listened to this or that band since at least 1984, you were not true. This would, of course, have been impossible for younger musicians because they would have been too young back then anyhow to listen to anything at all. So it was just a petty way to make sure that only you were special and important. The others, lol, they are not veterans like me. As a result, we saw a whole lot of metal kids lie about what bands they had listened to, and correspondingly, we made fun of these guys, saying things like, I've listened to Venom since I was an egg in my mother's womb, dude. So if you really, really want to be a true cult black metal guy, but you are 13 years old in 2024, you might feel relief when I tell you that it is okay for you to not have listened to some crappy thrash or trash metal bands since the 80s. Finally, in this context, I can add that I actually had heard about Venom, but had forgotten about it when asked about it by Dead. A friend of mine had satellite TV in the 80s, and his big brother was watching TV in the background and almost laughed his heart out when Venom performed live on his TV, probably on a show called Headbangers Ball. They were so bad that they were just a joke to him. I was there that day. That was my entire Venom experience, until Dead asked me about them in early 1991. Note that also this is not about having listened to older black metal because that was a new term. The point was to prove that you were not a newcomer, and that you had listened to thrash and heavy metal a long time already. Bathory, Venom, sure, but also other bands that has since not been identified as having anything to do with black metal at all. Early Creator, Destruction, I think even Metallica. The guys in Emperor also listen to King Diamond and Merciful Fate and that kind of music. Immortal was basically obsessed with Kiss and their stage shows. I'm sure some guys in the scene had listened to Alice Cooper and Scorpions too for that sake, although when I say that, this is purely speculations on my part. Nobody ever claimed King Diamond, Merciful Fate, or Kiss were the first wave of black metal bands because of that, though.